everyone, Tony Beers here for Toxic Pop News. In this video, we will go over an article in which a feminist artist tells us that comics are sexist. Well, perhaps comics are not for feminists. This is from BBC News, 100 Women, the artist redrawing sexist comic book covers. An artist in India is challenging the sexist drawings of women in comic books by parodying them using male heroes and poses typically associated with women. She-Hulk has superhuman strength and speed and is one of the most formidable hand-to-hand combatants in the Marvel world. Like Hulk, not only does she have physical power, she's also completely green. Yes, She-Hulk is green. We all know this. It's weird that they felt the need to tell us that She-Hulk is green. Yet, on a 1991 comic book cover, she's shown in a seductive pose wearing a G-string bikini with her curves sharply accentuated. Indian artist Sharia Arora was shocked when she saw the image. For the Hulk, the visual representation focuses on his strength. For She-Hulk, we all see an emphasis on her sexuality, says Aurora, who grew up reading comic books. No, she didn't. I don't buy that one for 1 second. I'd like to see her comic collection. The 21-year-old graphic designer decided she wanted to flip the narrative. Okay, my first question is, why is she complaining about a comic that is 27 years old? What's the point of complaining about a comic that is older than what she is? She better hop in the DeLorean so she can stop this comic from being created. Leftist feminists are always saying that people on the right want to go back to the past, but it's always them who can't stop talking about the past. The sensational She-Hulk from the 90s was a comedy. Check out this description from Comics Vine. This is one for the record books. In the late 80s and early 90s, Marvel had a breakthrough in new ideas. Ghost Rider was being printed on all black pages. The junior team New Warriors was at bat, and She-Hulk was making us laugh. Not in the conventional Marvel What the, a series back in the 70s way, but in a parody of Marvel and the comic book industry. Just look at the covers and you can tell it's a comedy. They even parodied Looney Tunes. So guess what else came out around the time of this She-Hulk cover? The Demi Moore Vanity Fair cover where she posed while naked and pregnant. Feminists loved this cover, by the way. They cheered this cover for showing how beautiful pregnant women are. And this She-Hulk cover is a parody of that Vanity Fair cover. And 27 years ago, apparently, some other people also had a problem with how She-Hulk dresses. And Marvel had the perfect response. They mocked those people with a cover in which She-Hulk was covered head to toe in winter clothes during the summer. So Aurora and the BBC are 27 years too late. And it's obvious that neither Aurora or the BBC know how to do any research. Her artwork draws inspiration from the comic book covers, but parodies the male superheroes using body language typically associated with women. The result? Covers with familiar characters such as Superman and Batman in strikingly unusual poses and outfits. A scantily clad Spider-Man is pictured in only a thong. Okay, we just explained the She-Hulk cover. Let's look at her Spider-Man parody cover. We have to address the elephant in the room. Aurora is a terrible artist. Let's compare her to a good Spider-Man artist such as Todd McFarlane. In Aurora's art, the spiderweb pattern on the mask does not look like a spiderweb, and the eyes are way off. A coy Hulk covers himself with a newspaper. Okay, let's look at the Hulk art. First, She-Hulk used the Comics Code Authority logo, not a newspaper. I very much doubt that Aurora or the BBC knows what this is. Again, She-Hulk's cover is joking about the Comics Code Authority since it was a comic book self-censor group. Now look at the face on Hulk. It's so horribly done.
What's wrong with your face?
While Iron Man, with a prominent buttocks, crawls on a ledge. Again with the Spider-Woman cover, in which she is crawling like a spider. This has been talked about before. It's clearly not sexist, but it's brought up constantly. The way female heroines are drawn would never be applied to men, Aurora tells BBC 100 Women. But men have been in these poses before. Spider-Man has been drawn in this exact same pose as Spider-Woman many times. Hulk has been nearly naked, and in more adult-oriented comics, many men have been fully naked, including Watchmen's Dr. Manhattan, and most recently, even Batman himself. But that's a story for another video. Marvel, DC, and other publishers in the comic world have been accused of sexism before. But Aurora, who is in her 3rd year at the National Institute of Design in Ahmedabad, says she only notices the issue while she was studying in France. Maybe seeing comics with text in a language I wasn't familiar with made me focus more on the visuals, she says. There was a couple of Aurora's pieces that was shown in this article but was not talked about. Here is a parody of a Wonder Woman cover where she drew Superman in Wonder Woman's place. This is another example of terrible art. In the Wonder Woman cover, the sun has backlit Wonder Woman, causing Wonder Woman to be darker and in shadow. This so-called artist, Aurora, doesn't seem to understand how lighting works, since she doesn't do this with Superman. Also, like her Hulk drawing, she doesn't draw Superman's face very well.
What's wrong with your face?
Part of the problem is that comic books are very often drawn by men for men to enjoy, she argues. Yes, why is that a problem? Listen to what she is saying. She is saying that men enjoying this artwork is a problem. The current depiction of superheroines exists because of this vicious cycle. Companies decide on a specific target market and then use that demographic as a reason to continue the same problematic process of content creation. Now she is saying that targeting a specific audience is somehow wrong. No, there's nothing wrong with this at all. There are many products targeted at specific audiences. For example, romance novels are targeted at women or gay men. I have no interest in these novels because they are not for me. They have covers that sexualize men, and I frankly don't care that the covers are made this way, because again, they are not made for me. So why does Aurora have problems with comics that are not made for her? Frankly, she seems very selfish and wants comics to be made specifically for her. Whenever I criticize something for being bad, I'm often told, well, then maybe it's not for you. So I have to say the same thing to feminists. Maybe comics are not for you, and you should stop trying to make them for you. Now, of course, I'm not saying that women can't enjoy comics. Women are welcome to enjoy comics. All we ask is that you not try to fundamentally change them to your liking because they may not be for you. You don't see men trying to change romance novels or romantic comedies and chick flicks into something made for men because they are not made for us. And perhaps comics are not for you. I wish that comic book publishers would see that there is definitely a market for more inclusive comics. But is there really a market for feminist comics? They tried to push feminist comics before, and it failed. Her project has been criticized for not acknowledging that comics show not only female characters with unrealistic body shapes and poses, but male ones too. That's actually a very good point. She claims female superheroes have unrealistic body standards, yet male superheroes also have unrealistic body standards. The thing is, comic book art, for the most part, is not supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be exaggerated. Let's see her weak defense to this valid criticism. Aurora maintains that the comics are misogynistic, particularly on the front covers. Body standards for men with huge biceps, rock-hard abs exist to make them look strong and powerful, which superheroes are known for, she says. You can make the same argument for female superheroes. They are also known for body proportions that are strong, voluptuous, and feminine. The body standards for women are tweaked to make them look sexy. And why is that a bad thing? She says it's normal for male superheroes to look muscular and strong. Isn't being muscular and strong considered sexy for men? Also, don't women themselves want to look sexy? Women don't want to look unattractive, frumpy, and ugly, do they? Women, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. People deem that body types of real-life, athletic, strong women like Serena Williams too masculine. Yes, and I agree with that opinion. I think Serena Williams does look too masculine. Straight men are not attracted to masculine women. This is just natural, and there is nothing wrong with this. I don't understand why feminists would want masculine women to represent them. It doesn't make any sense. If creators wanted to make superheroines look strong, they have plenty of real-life inspiration to choose from. She seems to be suggesting female athletes like Serena Williams. Well, someone like myself would like to see women with body types like Christina Hendricks. But if you want to go for more an athletic look, I like MMA fighter Gina Carano. Carano is athletic, but not as masculine as Williams. So the rest of this article talks about other social projects this terrible artist has done and wants to do in the future. Frankly, she is a terrible artist. Just showing her art next to comic book covers from actual artists shows how bad she is by comparison. And it shows that the art world cares more about the social message than the actual talent. And that's what's sad, is that she will probably get paid a lot more than actual good artists who have to struggle to get paid any money at all. This type of art sucks. So lastly, I will again tell feminists who think this way about comics, maybe comics are not for you. So tell us what you think about this artist and her work. Let us know in the comments below. I'm Tony Beers, and I'll see you next time.